everyone. Welcome to the Savvy Sales Lady Live. This is an unusual edition because it was supposed to air last night. And I had something come up that I had to change it until today at 2. I mean, life happens, right? So we are going to get into something that is near and dear to my heart, and that is the flow of the sales conversation, my signature flow to have a perfect sales conversation. All right, we'll get off of the music and we'll get down to business. So today I'm teaching you my signature flow, and it's the question-based strategy, the question-based conversation strategy that helps you go from awkward small talk to real revenue generating conversations. Isn't that the point? If you've ever stumbled through what to say next or worried you're coming off scripted, well, this is going to be your fix. These are all easy tips to remember too. So why does flow matter? Here's why. Sales pros, they lose deals not because they asked the wrong thing, but because they didn't build on what the prospect just said. I see this so much in my training and in sales coaching that sales reps jump the gun and don't ask enough questions and move right to close for the either close the deal or close the appointment. But a real sales conversation is like dancing. You lead, but you also respond. That's what a conversation means. So let me share an example with you of what I'm talking about. So after the call introduction, typically the sales rep will ask maybe one or two questions that are closed-ended questions like, now I'm stuck. I knew this was going to happen. How many people are on your sales team? And then that's just a one answer question. Instead, they should be asking, tell me a little bit about your sales team. That's just one example. Second, they'll say, are you the only decision maker? Way too soon in the sales conversation, right? So let me go through my simple flow and rhythm. Ask a question, listen to what the prospect is saying, then make a statement followed immediately with a question. So what does that sound like? It would sound something like this. How many people are on your sales team? That's a closed-ended question. The prospect will say, well, we have about 25. So you have 25 on your team. Tell me a little bit more about your sales team and what they do. Well, our sales team is kind of split between inside and outside sales. We have about 50-50 split between the two. So and I would say, so you have a 50-50 split. Tell me about what your sales team does on the outside. See, you're having a conversation, or if they bring up a pain point. So let's say, yeah, my outside sales team is really frustrated because oftentimes Their appointments don't show up when they're supposed to. Oh, you're having prospects that don't show up to your outside sales team? That must be frustrating. What do they typically do if they don't show up? Okay, see, I stayed on the pain point. What a lot of salespeople will do is go completely bypass that pain point and then go to, well, what about your inside sales, without digging deeper into that pain point. So, what you want to do is, ask a foundational question. Something like, what's your current process for generating leads? Now, this opens the door, but the real magic in it all is what you do next, right? You need to listen to what the prospect has to say. Don't mentally prepare your pitch while they're talking. You want to absorb what they're saying. So you're listening for keywords, emotions, and pain points. Those are the two things that you're looking to hear. So you're going to respond with a statement. It sounds like you're putting in a lot of effort, but leads aren't consistently converting. So that's validating without pitching. You're showing them that you heard them. Then what you're going to do is ask a deeper follow-up. What do you think is getting in the way of better conversion? Now you're digging in. This creates insight and trust. So you repeat this flow: pain discovery, vision building, decision process exploration. Okay? So in the beginning, the simple rhythm is ask a question, listen, respond with a short, relevant statement, ask a follow-up that goes deeper. Then when you've discovered the pain, you're going to keep digging into that pain and then do vision building and then the decision process exploration. So there's 4 steps. Ask a foundation question, listen, respond with a statement, ask a deeper follow-up questions. That's really all you need to know. That's really my signature flow. Now, here's the confidence factor. Most salespeople are afraid of slowing down the conversation, but depth creates conversion. Don't be so anxious to move to close the deal or move to book that appointment. I know what you're afraid of. You're afraid that the buyer is going to say, well, I can't talk anymore. I'm just not interested. Don't worry about that. If they start asking you questions back, you've got them engaged. So the goal isn't to get through your list of questions. The goal is to guide the buyer to clarity. That's the goal. You may not get through all of your questions, but don't forget, before you pick up that phone, what's your reason for calling that prospect and what do you want that outcome to be? If it's to book an appointment, then make sure that you book that appointment. But don't confuse booking an appointment with selling. Don't try to do both. If they ask you a question and let's say that it would take a great deal of time to answer. Your perfect response to that would be, that's exactly why I'm calling, because this will take a deeper conversation. Would you have availability on Wednesday of this week at 3 p.m. to go deeper into this conversation? You can pivot right then and there. But if it's early on in the conversation, you can't. You would repeat, that's exactly why I'm calling, to have a deeper conversation on that very concern. Then pivot to a question. How often does that happen to your sales team based on the pain point? Okay. So remember, the goal is to guide the buyer to clarity. That's your goal. So I want to challenge you to use this flow on your next 10 calls. Don't pitch, just use the flow conversation. And if you want my free PDF, the Perfect Sales Flow Practice Guide, just put flow in the comment section before, and I'll send you a link so you can download that free guide. All right. So I hope this helped you quite a bit. I knew this was going to be more of a short conversation on the Savvy Sales Lady Live, but it's really all about my signature flow, and that's ask a question, listen. You're listening for emotion and pain points. Then make a statement, oftentimes mirroring what they said, and then follow immediately with another question based on what they just said. You don't want to skip to another question. The follow-up question should be about what they just told you. Okay? Now, put flow in the comments, and I'll send you that link for the free PDF for the perfect sales conversation. And until the next time, I'll see you Tuesday. Stay savvy.